Hey guys, this is Ruben, Conrad, and Simeon, and we are doing the clause. Now, the reason we're doing the clause is because the clauses are one of the more obscure parts of grammar, and we want everyone to know what a clause is. So, there are four different types of clauses. There are main clauses, there are subordinate clauses, there are relative clauses, and there are my personal favorite, noun clauses. Now, what makes all of these clauses is that they have a subject and a predicate, as shown on the screen right there. Okay? And so we'll go right into explaining independent clauses. So there we have our cat, and our cat will help us explain the independent clause. So we'll just write an independent clause really quick. The kitten wants a hug. How adorable. Okay, so what makes this an independent clause is that it can stand on its own because it is a complete thought. And it is a complete thought because it has what all clauses have, the subject and the predicate. The kitten wants a hug. And an independent clause is different from all the other clauses because it can stand on its own, as I mentioned before. All the other clauses can't stand on their own, but an independent clause can. So going on to subordinate clause. Now, what's different about a subordinate clause is that it uses a subordinate conjunction in the clause. A few examples of subordinate conjunctions are after, although, as, once, provided that, whenever, just those words on the website right there. And well, the word we're going to use is because, so we'll just write our subordinate clause. Because it has no name, the kitten did not know who gave him the sweater. Okay, so because it has no name is our subordinate clause. And in this case, it is the subordinate clause because it has what all clauses have, the subject, that being it, and the predicate has no name. There we go. That's the predicate. And it has our subordinate conjunction, because. And if you think about it, if you just say the subordinate clause by itself, because it has no name, that is not a complete thought and it cannot stand by itself. So that's what makes a subordinate clause, in that it has a subordinate conjunction and it is not a complete thought. So that's a cute cat. So we'll be going on to relative clause now. So the relative clause is unique in that it uses relative pronouns or adverbs in the clause. So just like all the other clauses, it has a subject and a predicate, but along with that, it uses a relative pronoun or adverb. So in this case, the kitten that loves yarn is very cute. And that is our sentence. So our relative clause in this case is that loves yarn. And our relative pronoun is that. So there is our relative pronoun. And that is referring to the kitten, and loves yarn is the predicate. So that's what a relative clause is. It uses relative pronouns or adverbs, and it follows all the rules of being a clause. And we can see that our kitten there actually made the sweater for this kitten, which, if you think about it, is adorable. Okay, now moving on to my favorite one, noun clauses. So a noun clause is interesting because the clause itself can be replaced with a noun. So in this case, we'll write the sentence, the kitten that is sad sits crumpled in a cardboard box. So the kitten that is sad is our noun clause, and crumpled is the complete part of the sentence. So this clause is obviously still a clause because it has a subject and a predicate, the subject being the kitten, and is sad is the noun, or not the noun, I'm sorry, the predicate. And we do see a relative pronoun in there that is that, but it's okay because the whole thing can be replaced with a noun. Now, when I say the whole thing can be replaced with a noun, what I mean is that a noun can take the place of the clause in the sentence and it could still make sense. For example, if we replace the kitten that is sad with a noun such as the cat sits crumpled in a cardboard box, the sentence still works. And that's what I mean by a noun clause, when the clause can be replaced with a noun. And I just think that's sort of interesting, so that's why it's my favorite. So, when it comes to clauses, you really don't need to know much. Honestly, I can't think of a single time when I've used a clause or like needed to have used a clause. You could probably go through life not knowing what a clause is, but hopefully you do. So, thanks and see you guys.